First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Presidential hopefuls are traveling the state asking for your vote. Coming up, a look at the candidates as we head into the Florida primary.
And smoking could be banned at one Gainesville hotspot.
But first, a string of robberies have investigators reminding residents to lock their cars. That's our top story tonight. Good evening. It's Monday, March 14th. I'm Marie Ettinger.
And I'm Taylor Shea. Thanks for joining us. Aggie Buedo joins us now in the studio with more.
Thanks, Taylor. Dozens of Columbia County residents have recently returned to their cars to find valuables missing. But vehicle break-ins are easy to prevent as long as car doors are locked and there are no valuable items laying around in sight. Columbia County Sheriff's deputies are advising everyone to double and triple check that their car doors are locked. 35 burglaries have taken place in the last week alone, and the number is expected to rise as summer approaches.
Especially during the summer, and I'm not blaming juveniles necessarily for it, but when school's out, we seem to have an increase in the amount of vehicle burglaries.
The Sheriff's Department has no current suspects, and detectives are not sure if this is the act of one person or a group of people. Every car that has been burglarized has been unlocked and has had items taken, including money.
Now you say, like, why would someone risk it over change? But if you hit 20 vehicles a night and you get a couple of bucks from a couple of them, I mean, that's kind of what they're looking for.
Because the cars were unlocked, it was easy to commit the crime, simply by pulling on the door handle, opening the door, and taking cash and other items from inside the vehicle. After analyzing a few videos, detectives have figured out that most burglaries have taken place between midnight and 4 or 5 a.m. The burglaries have occurred mostly in people's driveways, and no tools have been used to break into the vehicles in any of the reported burglaries so far. Investigators say it's up to residents to be alert and report any suspicious activity.
This is not a Columbia County issue. It's an issue for any community. Lock your stuff up. If you see something that's suspicious, by all means, call law enforcement and have them come out and check it out.
The Marion County Sheriff's Office and the Ocala Police Department have also reported multiple car burglaries in the past few days. The advice remains the same: lock your doors and hide your belongings.
Thanks, Aggie. Smoking may not be welcome any longer in one-town Gainesville location if a proposed city ordinance passes. The Gainesville Recreation, Cultural Affairs, and Public Works Committee is discussing prohibiting smoking in the recently renovated Bo Diddley Plaza. The issue's been on and off in the City Commission agenda since 2010, and researchers with the Alachua County Health Department say it could be a problem. Tobacco-Free Alachua found that about 83% of residents surveyed say they support an ordinance that bans smoking in public parks.
No, I respect other people's feelings, and if they don't want to be around smoke, I won't smoke. I would go across the street to the parking lot or sidewalk somewhere. Yeah, I would move away from the area.
There are currently no city bans on smoking in any parks in the area, but the committee has asked the Gainesville Attorney's Office to gather more information before a decision can be made. Now, Tay, I don't know if you were up early this morning, but earlier in the day there was a ton of fog. It was really foggy out.
I know, I'm pretty sure I caught the tail end of that as I was coming to school today, but UF forecaster Amanda Hawley joins us now from the Weather Center. Amanda, should we expect any more of this fog this evening?
We can. We've got that leftover low-level moisture from the front that moved through yesterday, and that allowed that dense fog to move in this morning, and we're going to see more of it again tonight. So you can see it will start to develop after around 5 a.m. This particular model is showing it a little bit further south, but I certainly think that we could see it here in Alachua County, and it will burn off, but not until around 9 or 10 in the morning. But check it out. Those low-level moisture also made for some cumulus clouds to form this afternoon. Certainly didn't hinder those temperatures at all, though. 84 for a high this afternoon, currently 83 here in Gainesville, 82 down in Ocala, and it will be a mild evening as well, as temperatures only fall into the upper 50s by the morning hours. Those breezy conditions will be dying down as well, and that will also be better conditions for that fog to form by morning. Coming up, though, I'm going to tell you to enjoy the first half of the week because we've got another front on the way by the end of the week. Back to you.
Thanks, Amanda. Some of the remaining Republican presidential candidates were in Florida over the weekend, and one Republican who's no stranger to the Sunshine State made an appearance at the Villages yesterday. I was there in Sumter County to hear what residents had to say about Florida native Marco Rubio.
Let's hear it for Marco.
It was standing room only. 700 Rubio supporters and non-supporters crammed into the Rohan Regional Recreation Center on Sunday to hear what he had to say.
That's why I have a real plan to balance our budget. That's why I have a real plan, by the way, to save Social Security and Medicare.
Rubio supporters like Nancy Almquist agree with the reforms Rubio plans to make if he is elected president.
He can bring people together. I truly feel he's strong and he cares. He's got a caring heart. And he's not in it just for fame or making money 50 years down the road, but he's in it to do service for our country.
Rubio discussed a number of topics with the crowd of mostly supporters, and I spoke to a couple of veterans off camera who don't support Rubio, and they don't believe he will win the state of Florida because they say 16,000 Sumter County residents have already voted, and obviously they can't change their vote. Outside the rally, protesters were also in attendance, with signs reading "No Show Senator," an establishment puppet, hoping to send a message of their own.
Rubio, I don't really believe he tells the truth a lot. I think he just says whatever the media wants to hear, whatever the American people want to hear, and it's not the truth. So we're just trying to be here to be against what he's saying.
Over the weekend, Rubio was able to win the Washington, D.C. caucus, but he knows he really needs a victory in Florida's winner-take-all primary. He's still far behind Donald Trump and lagging Ted Cruz
If their car
in the
breaks
race
down
for the
next
White
week and
House.
it's not under warranty, they're in a lot of trouble.
Sarah Palin canceled her campaign stop at the Villages for Donald Trump after her husband was injured in a snow machine crash. Trump's campaign released a statement saying Todd Palin was in a bad snow machine accident last night and is currently hospitalized. Governor Palin is returning to Alaska to be with her husband. She was scheduled to appear in the Villages today at noon. But even without Palin on the campaign trail, Trump still tops Rubio in the polls. In Florida, the new Quinnipiac University poll places Trump ahead of Rubio 46 to 22%. Trump also ties Governor Kasich in Kasich's home state of Ohio. Florida and Ohio are two of the 5 primary states voting tomorrow, and their home state candidates are trying hard to stay in the race despite the numbers. NBC's Steve Handelsman is in Miami with a look at tomorrow's race.
Marco Rubio must win Florida. He campaigned in his home state all day.
We believe! I believe too.
Of the 5 Mega Tuesday states, Florida and Ohio are winner-take-all for Republicans.
And we're going to do what needs to be done. We're going to win the 99 delegates here in Florida.
But at the Green Street Cafe in Miami, the talk was of Donald Trump. You like Rubio, you like Kasich and Cruz, so why Trump?
I like Trump better. Trump, I think it will help make America great again.
With a lead in Florida polls, Trump was in North Carolina. Demonstrators again inside and outside.
No Trump! No KKK!
But Trump today was gentle after days of confrontations that critics charge Trump encouraged.
But because of that, people say, well, is there violence? There's no violence. There's love fest.
In Ohio, Governor John Kasich campaigned with Mitt Romney.
He has the kind of record that you want in Washington, and that's why I'm convinced that you're going to do the right thing tomorrow. Agreed?
And Kasich vowed to beat Trump.
I think we're ahead, and we're going to win tomorrow.
Winning Ohio and Illinois is Democrat Bernie Sanders' goal.
If you want a candidate who will defeat Trump or some other Republican, you are looking at him right here.
But in total delegates, Hillary Clinton still figures to best Sanders in the 5 states.
That can send a strong message that love trumps hate.
Donald Trump looking at a big delegate haul with John Kasich and Marco Rubio facing what could be their last day in the race. I'm Steve Handelsman, NBC News, Miami.
The presidential preference primary and City of Gainesville general election voting starts tomorrow, and Alachua County Supervisor of Elections Office Pam Carpenter says early voter turnout has reached a record number. WUFT's Leah Shields is live at Precinct 25. Leah, what can we expect tomorrow?
Well, according to Carpenter, the number of early votes reached about 13,000, and even with the large voter turnout, she is expecting another record-breaking turnout tomorrow. Inside the Supervisor of Elections office, poll workers are canvassing the absentee ballots in preparation for primary voting tomorrow.
We have over 12,000 absentees in house, and we're processing another 1,400 today. Then, of course, we'll have all of the absentee ballots that continue to be brought into the office today and tomorrow.
Between early votes and absentee ballots, Alachua County has received more than 25,000 ballots before the March 15th primary. Carpenter says normally only 20 to 25% of voters show up to the polls for primary voting.
We have over 15 to 16% of our voters have already voted, either absentee or early. So I'm anticipating we're going to see something more in that 30 to 35, if not higher.
With the record-breaking voter turnout this primary, voters are advised to avoid the voting rush hours.
Typically, we have a 20 to 50 person rush at 7 o'clock in the morning. Everybody gets off work and manages to get back out to the precinct. We're pretty well steady from then on.
And primary voting starts tomorrow at 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. at night. Remember, you have to be in line by 7 p.m. to vote. Live from Precinct 25, Leah Shields, WUFT News.
All right, thanks, Leah. Sounds like something's going on out there. Gainesville Election Day is traditionally held in the spring of every year, but a group called Gainesville Votes recently started a petition to change that. WUFT's Haley Zagacki joins us live from the newsroom. Haley, what are the people promoting this petition hoping to accomplish?
Well, the new group, led by former Commissioner Thomas Hawkins, is petitioning to move city elections from the spring to the fall, saying it will increase voter turnout on Election Day and save the city money.
Thomas Hawkins used to serve on the Gainesville City Commission. Now, he is working with a new group, Gainesville Vote, to petition when municipal elections should be held. Hawkins, along with several other former commissioners, has received the go-ahead from the Alachua County Supervisor of Elections to collect signatures of support. Hawkins says this move will help Gainesville have a stronger voice in state politics.
Folks who are elected to represent the city of Gainesville and other municipalities don't have as large of a voting base as folks who are elected to represent us in the state legislature. And that lack of representation, our citizens having a proportionately weaker voice, disadvantaged us, and we can do better.
Hawkins' plan is structured after the Alachua County School Board, which holds elections every fall of even-numbered years.
Hawkins and his supporters have until May 29th to get their petition on the ballot, but this petition is raising some concerns with city officials.
Alachua County Commissioner Robert Hutchinson addressed Hawkins at a presentation he made today with questions about making voter contact when some residents may be out of town.
And so as somebody who has campaigned in August, knocking on doors, they're all empty.
Gainesville City Commissioner Todd Chase also has concerns about the possible change. He says residents should consider all aspects of the election process before supporting the petition.
I think they should ask questions. I think they should ask themselves, why am I being asked to change the city elections by a small group of partisan former elected city commissioners? You know, why? Is it about turnout? Is it about saving money? It's got to be about something else.
Gainesville Vote must collect about 7,500 signatures to put the issue on the next ballot. Hawkins says he believes they are on track to reach this goal. Reporting live from the newsroom, Haley Zagacki, WUFT News.
Thanks, Haley. WUFT News First at 5 is just getting started. Coming up, a local museum celebrates its 10th annual Can You Dig It event. Stay tuned for a look at the family fun in your entertainment news.
Plus, the Florida Gators basketball team found out its postseason fate last night. Connor Ingalls will join us later with sports.
And the warm and dry conditions returned on this Monday afternoon after a soggy Sunday. We saw those cumulus clouds out there and a high temperature of 84. But coming up, I'm going to tell you about some rain that we could be seeing return to the forecast by the end of the week.
You're watching WUFT TV News.
Welcome back, and we're moving on now to our entertainment segment. So we'll get the scoop on a lot of the recent celebrity news.
And a lot of the new movies that came out in the box office. Crystal Bailey joins us now.
Well, I do have some box office news, but first in local entertainment, this weekend's family-friendly fun involved hands-on science. The Florida Museum of Natural History celebrated its 10th annual Can You Dig It event this weekend. On Saturday, the museum was filled with volcanic eruptions and geological discoveries for the whole family to enjoy.
What started as an idea a decade ago has turned into geological and educational reality. The free event provides local visitors with an opportunity to discover Mother Earth's wonders through hands-on activities and educational demonstrations. The scientist who founded the event says too often, Earth science is not understood. Can You Dig It was meant to change that.
A lot of people don't really know what we do, and so we wanted to create an opportunity to engage the public, let them see the kinds of things that we do at the University of Florida Department of Geological Sciences, but really just to try to inspire a love of earth science.
A returning activity which receives a lot of attention is the Augmented Sandbox, which teaches kids about elevations in the earth. and the volcano demonstration.
3, 2, 1.
Where volunteers show guests how volcanic eruptions occur is also a hit.
One of the more creative activities here is the tunnel through geological time, which starts from 4.6 million years ago when the Earth was formed, all the way through the dinosaurs to present time.
Plus, kids can make their own earthquake by watching the Earth shake beneath their stomping feet using a Richter scale.
Everybody is touched by science. Geology is one of those sciences that we take for granted, but it's all over the place. It's not only the ground, but it's the water, it's everything around us, and it touches our lives in so many ways.
The program is sponsored by the University of Florida Department of Geological Services, along with the Florida Museum, and takes place every year in March.
It was so neat in there.
And on to more international news. The singer of the American rock band Eagles of Death Metal is apologizing for claims made about terrorist attacks in Paris last year. Jesse Hughes was performing with his band in Paris in November when 3 gunmen opened fire in the theater, killing 89 people. The raid was part of several attacks in Paris that left more than 130 people dead that day. Hughes is accused the security guards at the theater of being involved in an interview last week, but he is apologizing to the people of France through social media. He says his claims were unfounded and baseless. And closing in on this weekend's movie attention, once again, the box office hit is the animated Disney film for the whole family to enjoy, Zootopia. It's back in the #1 spot, earning another $50 million this weekend, bringing ticket sales up to $142 million in just 10 days. The Disney animation is about an optimistic rabbit who believes she can do anything. And earning more than $25 million and coming up behind Zootopia in second place is 10 Cloverfield Lane, starring John Goodman. The plot follows Goodman's character as he keeps a woman in an underground shelter and deceives her about what's happening outside. And in third is the R-rated Marvel Comics film, Deadpool. It made about $10 million this weekend at the box office, bringing in about $328 million since its opening a month ago.
Thank you, Crystal. Now we're coming out of a rainy weekend, and Amanda tells us the break we're seeing right now may not last very long.
I know, I hope you got your chance to be out in the sun today. Amanda, when should we be keeping the umbrellas handy this week?
Well, not until the end of the week will we really need those umbrellas. You can enjoy the warmer and drier conditions for the first half because we do have a soggy end to the week here in North Florida. But for now, like I said, high pressure is in place. It has regained control of our weather, and we've got another stretch of some warmer and drier conditions. But this will only last through Wednesday because, like I said, we've got another front on the way. This one's going to be stronger than the one that moved through on Sunday. We do have a good chance for some rain, and this front's actually going to stall out. So those rain chances, they're going to stay elevated through the end of the weekend. We could get some severe weather with this one as well. It's a little bit far off. We'll keep you updated. But this one is also not just a cold front in name. We're actually going to see some cooler temperatures return behind it. And I'm talking below average. So it's going to be a big jump from the mid-80s that we're seeing now to the low 70s for highs come the end of the weekend and for the start of next week. But for now, like I said, we've got some drier air back in place. High pressure is in charge, and it's going to continue to do so as we can see the drier air continuing to stream in off the Gulf of Mexico. So it was certainly evident out there today with those temperatures in the mid-80s. Right now it's around 83 degrees at the Gainesville Regional Airport, a little bit cooler along the coastline, 79 in Cedar Key, 82 in St. Augustine. Look at that, 86 in St. Augustine, 88 down in Orlando. So certainly a warm one. Tomorrow's going to be warm as well, but tonight will be mild as temperatures only fall into the upper 50s for a low. We'll hit 66 by around 10 o'clock tonight, 64 by midnight. Those winds, the breezy conditions out there right now, they will be dying down by morning, allowing some patchy dense fog to form by Tuesday morning. But that'll quickly burn off by the mid-morning hours, and come Tuesday afternoon, it's going to be much of the same story out there. 84 degrees for a high in Gainesville, 85 down in Ocala, and Wednesday will be much of the same as well. This will be the last pool day though, 85 in Gainesville, 84 in Ocala. A little bit more cloud cover out there on Wednesday as well until that front really starts to arrive on Thursday and Friday. It's going to stall out on Friday. You can see the cloud cover here, and the cooler air really doesn't arrive until the end of the weekend once that front finally is allowed to push out and push to the east of us, but it will bring us a good chance for rain until then. And check it out, we haven't seen one of these in a while. This is a big dip in the jet stream here, and this is allowing cooler air to filter into us here in North Florida. So keep in mind, cooler temperatures will return by the end of the weekend. So enjoy the next couple of days days where we'll be dry and warm in the mid-80s. Those rain chances start on Thursday. Just a slight chance on Thursday. They get higher and higher through Sunday, and then we'll start to clear out, and those temperatures will get lower as well. Back to you.
Thanks, Amanda. While Selection Sunday was last night for the men's NCAA tournament, bracket watch isn't over just yet.
The women's selections will be unveiled tonight. WFT sports anchor Connor Ingalls joins us now.
That's right, Amanda. Butler's Gators will be watching to see where they end up. We'll show you what Butler had to say today as our team preps for the tourney. That and more coming up next in sports after the break. Florida Gator basketball is headed back to the postseason in the NIT. Very fittingly, result to a mediocre season. Welcome back to sports. I'm Connor Ingalls. The Gators get a 2 seed, which would normally mean they'd host games through the quarterfinals. But with renovations to the O-Dome underway, the Gators will be on the road throughout the tournament, beginning tomorrow in Jacksonville at UNF. If they get past the Ospreys, there could be a juicy second-round matchup awaiting the Gators. A possible trip to Ohio State, reuniting two fan bases who love to hate each other after everything that's gone on between the athletic programs on and off the field in the last decade. After that, Florida could have a front row seat to the world's most famous bench. The Monmouth Hawks, known mostly for the in-game antics of their reserves, sit atop the region. Head coach Mike White says he just wants to see his team come out and try to improve.
I mean, every time you're between the lines, if you're a real basketball player, you should be trying to improve a little bit. And whether it be for the rest of the season or improvement for down the road or gaining that experience for down the road for next year or the year after, that's the approach that I would hope that our guys would take.
And the Gators tip off against UNF tomorrow at 7. While the Gators won't be in the big dance, 3 SEC teams are, despite Kentucky beating Texas A&M in the SEC Tournament Championship game yesterday, and the two teams finishing with the same record. The Aggies get a 3 seed while UK is a 4. The Wildcats draw Stony Brook in the East bracket. A&M is in the West. They open up with Green Bay. Vanderbilt rounds out the conference selections. They'll be an 11 seed and have to face Wichita State tomorrow in the first 4. The women's bracket comes out tonight. Amanda's Butler's Gators are expected to make it back to the tourney after missing out last season. The Gators haven't played in over a week, and Butler says they've put that time off to good use. Okay, well, she did say that. You'll just have to take my word on it. Moving forward, Gator softball will be on the diamond tonight. They're going to take on Auburn. They'll look to remain undefeated, and that would probably be their most impressive accomplishment of the season because they do so sweeping the third-ranked Auburn Tigers on the road. Clutch hitting drove the Gators to wins in games 1 and 2. Nicole DeWitt launched a go-ahead 3-run homer in the 4th to carry Florida to victory yesterday. This came after Kaylee Kivistad hit a 3-run game winner in the 7th inning Saturday. The Gators will take to the diamond, brooms in hand tonight at 7. And Gator baseball was able to complete a sweep this weekend over the Harvard Crimson. Alex Faedo shut it down on the mound for the Gators in the series finale Saturday. He gave up only 2 hits while picking up a career-high 13 strikeouts in 8.1 innings pitched. His performance garnered some attention. Faedo was named a Louisville Slugger Player of the Week and SEC Baseball Co-Pitcher of the Week. The Gators will go for their 12th straight win tomorrow in a big one against FSU at home. And spring practice is in full swing for the Gator football team. They're now just 2 days away from putting on full pads. The big story this offseason will be the quarterback battle. Transfers Luke Del Rio and Austin Appleby are gunning for the job alongside freshmen Felipe Franks and Kyle Trask. Head coach Jim McElwain says it's Del Rio who's in the driver's seat right now to win the starting spot.
You know, he's been here a full year, and so, you know, for him, he's got a little bit of a leg up from a, knowledge standpoint.
McElwain announced 2 transfers today. Offensive lineman Travaris Dorsey and kicker Austin Hardin will not be Gators next season.
I'm not too worried about the kicker because we did score the top kicker recruit.
Yeah,
so I shouldn't be too worried.
Hopefully it will improve by next year. Thank you, Connor. And math lovers rejoice. It's Pi Day, March 14th, because the date mimics the first 3 digits of pi, 3.14.
But believe it or not, that's not the only national holiday. It's also National Potato Chip Day, my personal favorite, so pick up your favorite bag and crunch away. The day celebrates a picky customer in 1853 who complained his fried potatoes were too soggy. So the chef sliced them super thin and fried them to the delicious snack we know and love.
And you may have lost an hour of sleep with the return of daylight saving time this weekend, but here's your chance to make it up with one of my favorite of today's national holidays, National Nap Day. If the spring forward time change left you a little groggy, a nap is the perfect way to give yourself a little boost. Definitely what I'll be doing after the show.
Exactly.
All right, before we go, let's get one last check on the weather.
Here's Amanda.
And if you don't want to take a nap, I mean, temperatures will be mild out there and rather comfortable. Temperatures will only be falling into the upper 50s, 64 by midnight. Those winds will be dying down as well. Our next chance for rain comes in on Thursday, and the rain chances stay in the forecast through Sunday as our next cold front stalls out. Cooler weather will be in behind it. Back to you.
Thanks, Amanda. We'll be back tomorrow at 5, but your Florida news is always on at WUFT.org.
Here on WUFT TV, BBC World News is up next, and the PBS NewsHour is coming up at 7 o'clock. Have a good night.